Hello, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mouse Diva. How's everyone enjoying the full moon? Everyone getting lots of awarenesses? It's that Pisces moon, okay? It's entering the subconscious mind. So, got those deep, dark secrets buried, right? Doing a lot of introspection, okay? We're going to be having a lot of communication difficulties. We're going to be having a lot of misunderstandings. So I hope everybody is clearing out all their phone messages, their emails, and everything else. I hope we're having clearing up a lot of misunderstandings lately, okay? So without further ado, I am going to get to the topic, okay? So we're going to get off the bozo. I'm going to get off the bozo topic, okay, because we've been doing a lot of those in a row. I'm going to go on to something new, okay? So I'm going to go to a question that I got. Dear Angel, my ex is saying that he's not having any problem staying clean and sober now that he's with somebody new. All right, reader. Okay, that's a bunch of cap. Dude is gaslighting you, okay? Okay, now, as you guys know, I am a former addict. Alright, the thing about being clean and sober is it is a choice, right? It has nothing to do with being powerless, as they like to say. You know, I've got a lot of issues with a lot of the rhetoric in the 12-step programs. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've got a lot of issues with that kind of stuff where they say, you know, that your thinking got you here and you're powerless and all this stuff. I think they need to throw a lot of that out. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's disempowering to people who want to stay clean and sober. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's right to infer that the mind of the person who has fallen into an addiction is inferior to those people who have not fallen into an addiction, and I will tell you why. I was able to kick my addiction myself. It was not easy. Every single day is a hard day. Okay? Every single day is not a happy, fun day. It's not, but I'm going to tell you why. Every person has a hard day. Every single person has a hard day, okay? Our days are just a little bit harder because we feel like delving into that drug that may get us feel better, all right? Our brain chemistry is forever altered because we were hooked on a substance, all right? But we are not powerless. We are not inferior to other people. We are not different from other people, okay? But we go into these programs and get told that we're all these things that I don't think that's doing anybody any good. Now, I like the fact that we're being told to seek God. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea for everybody. But what about those people that go in there and, you know, and they don't believe in God? That's your choice. So that doesn't necessarily help people who don't believe in God, right? You know, there's that. There are a lot of that program was set up about 100 years ago, something like that. So there's a lot of medical technology that has, you know, been developed in the last 100 years, and I think that they need to revamp that whole program and that sort of thing, and saying that there's an allergy to alcohol and that sort of thing. No. You know, there's just a lot of different things that they need to revamp in those programs, and they need to not tell people that just certain things in there, and have all these sayings and have people repeat them over and over again. And there are a lot of I have another video called thought terminating cliches, and there are a whole lot of those things in those 12-step programs, and I don't think that's good. I think they are discouraging critical thinking, And as an ex-addict, I like to pay attention to people whose lives that I admire, people who are making six figures, people who are living a lot better than I do, people who are just having lives that I admire. I'm like, well, okay, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing that I would like to be doing with my life? You know, you're light years ahead of me on the success scale. Like, you guys, you know, you've got this happy thing going, you're getting along with your partner, you know, your kids are happy, you're thriving, you're making a lot of money, you're going on vacation, you're doing all these things I would like to do with my life. So what are you doing? I don't want to go into this room and get around with all these people who are even more depressed than I am, and whose lives are even crappier than mine, and repeat all these things and get really depressed. And, you know, and be around all these people I don't get along with. That's kind of like not what I want to go do to get better. You know what I'm saying? So I did not have a good time in rehab. But I did make a lot of friends in rehab, because you know who else is in rehab? Musicians. So I'm like, hey, do you guys, you know, want me to share your music? You know, so I made a lot of friends there, but I'm telling you, a lot of people in there who were like me, they did not respond to the program very well either. You know, and the people there who thought critically did not do well in the program. I mean, we all managed to stay clean, but a lot of us were, we were wanting to be clean anyway. You know, the people in there who put ourselves in there and were not forced to be in there, we're a different kind of animal. I mean, I put myself in there because I go, can I get some drug and alcohol education? Can I do this and do that? And they were like, well, who made you come in here? And I'm like, nobody. I just came in here to get some drug and alcohol, you know, education. I want to know what's going on with my brain chemistry. I want to, you know, learn some things about medicine. And, you know, there's a doctor in there who is telling me about new things they're doing, you know, developing different drugs to help different addicts and stuff. And I was like raising my hand and asking all these intelligent questions, and just, you know, I wanted to know about, you know, immunity suppressing drugs, and I was asking all these science questions, and that's why I was really in there. I just really wanted to know things like that, you know, like I had intelligent questions, and they were really just catering to the people who wanted to whine about, you know, about how crappy their lives were going. And I'm like, no, you guys, why are you dwelling on that? That's, you know, like, we're not high anymore. Like, why are your minds still like that? You know, we're not high now. We don't need to feel sorry for ourselves. Like, why are people feeling sorry for themselves? Like, we're not high now. We're not, you know, we're not in jail, and we're not dead. And, you know, like, wait a minute, your family still talk to you? Why are you hot? Why are you complaining? You know, like, I don't get why people are complaining when, you know, you have a roof over your head, you have enough to eat, and your family's talking to you. You're not dead. Like your lives are. You guys don't know how good your lives are. You know, like, why are you complaining? You know, and I didn't understand why so many people in there like were whining and complaining about stuff. You know, and it was weird because some of the people in there had reasons to whine and complain, and they weren't. And then some people in there like had no reason to whine and complain, and they were, and the facilitators were like indulging them, and I was like, bro, and I was getting really like annoyed. And then there's these other people in there, you know, like me and some of these, you know, entertainers and stuff, and we'd go in there and we'd like want to say something positive and cool, and they'd want to put the hush on us, and I'd be like, okay, what's that about? You know, I'm like, hey, something great happened, and this happened, and that happened, and they're just kind of like, you know, well, we don't want to hear something nice. I'm like, hey, you know, something occurred to me today, and it was this, you know, and I'd want to say something very positive, and, you know, they wouldn't want to hear it. Or, you know, someone else in the entertainment field would want to say something positive, and they wouldn't want to hear it, but they'd want to hear some guy who was just whining just because he's lonely, and, you know, and he was like some kind of schmuck, you know, like this one guy I basically thought he was a bozo, but I didn't say anything. But they would just let him go on and on about stuff, and I'd be sitting there going, you gotta be joking. But anyway, mostly there was cool people in rehab, but they would just indulge the idiots, you know, the schmucks, you know. I was just like, God, these people are like but but I met some cool people in there too. I mean, I'm not going to say everyone in there was just like some kind of jerk or something, but they really were not. They were not being. They were discouraging critical thought, and there was a lot of dogmatic, thought terminating cliches, and I really didn't like it. And there's a bunch of other stuff too, and I remember just raising my hand going, well, like, don't you guys ever find people that you look up to and kind of ask them what they're doing with their lives and like stuff like that, and they're like, wait, you don't go to meetings outside of rehab? And I'm like, no, bro, I don't like those meetings, like, why would I do a thing like that? I go, I'm trying to like, I look in the financial reports and I do this and I do that, and I'm just trying to find out how to, I'm starting different businesses and I'm doing different things and with my life, and I'm, reconnecting with family, and I'm letting everybody know I'm doing better. And they're like, oh, you mean you're not going to meetings? And I'm like, no, like, I don't like those. And everyone's just looking at me like, go, no, I'm starting businesses and stuff. I go, I'm trying to, make a better life for myself now, because, I'm not about being an addict. I'm about not being one. I go, I'm just here to learn. I was there to get an education, and like, that's kind of like what rehab's for, right? You're like supposed to learn. Like, I don't know. That's like going to school. To me, that's what it was anyway. So I didn't want to be like a career addict. So the whole point was, I'm explaining to this lady, I said, the thing about your ex is, it's not that, I don't know the nature of your relationship, but the thing about addicts is you don't suddenly stay clean and sober because you switch partners. And you guys may have had like a really, like, how can I say, like, toxic relationship. Maybe you guys weren't like a good pairing. But personally, I've been in a relationship for the past 3 years, and we've had our ups and downs. I mean, every relationship does, okay? No relationship is perfect. And I mean, I've been clean and sober for less than 4 years. So I haven't had any support in my sobriety, like, at all. So you gotta remember, I don't go to those meetings. I don't go to that rehab anymore. I don't do anything. So I don't really have any, like, quote unquote clean and sober friends or anything like that. So I don't have any, like, support of me clean and sober. I'm just clean and sober by myself. So I don't really have anyone to call and go, hey, I'm really tempted to get high. I have to just sweat it out. I have to go, man, like, I feel like crap right now. I have no one to talk to. Because I don't go along with all those slogans and all those sayings. I just gotta just sweat it out and just go, man, I feel really bad. And I have to, like, sit with the emotion and deal with it. So I don't have anyone to talk to about it. So so it's basically like, it's not really, so maybe he's just a different type of, like, addict. He's one of those addicts that has a sponsor and like 10 people he can call on that long list they give you, or whatever. Or maybe the woman he's with now, maybe she's like another person in recovery, or whatever it was. But what he's basically trying to do is he's trying to tell his ex that she's the reason that he kept falling off the wagon. Maybe it wasn't like a good relationship or whatever, but he's actually just trying to make her feel bad, is what it is. So, and that's what I told her. Do not ever get with somebody who's an addict in recovery and let them tell you you're the reason they keep using. Okay, because I had a hardcore addiction, and I've had my lots of fights with the guy I'm with. We've had lots of fights, and I have not used once. and it's a serious addiction. I've not cheated on him, and I've not used in the over 3 years that we've been together, and I was an addict for over 10 years. So this dude cannot tell her that she's the reason that he was using, and he's in this new relationship that he just got in, and that this new woman is going to keep him from using. That's a bunch of cap. So yeah, he's full of it, and every couple gets into arguments and fights, and some people more than others. There's lots of misunderstandings. This is not a fun time for anybody right now. This pandemic. This is a really hard time. A really hard time to be in a relationship, to be in a new relationship. This is just a struggle for everybody. So what's going to happen is the two of them are going to get into a fight, and he's probably going to use. I don't mean to wish that on him or anything like that, but he's probably going to say to her, now you're doing the same thing that so and so did to me. And he's going to try to blame the fact that he fell off the wagon on the new lady. I think that's what he's going to do, because he's one of those addicts that blames people. And not all addicts are the same kind of person. But this dude is one of those blamers. So I think the person that wrote in, I just want you to know, be glad you're rid of that guy. Because not all addicts are created equally. And the program would like everybody to think that addicts are cut out of a certain type of mold. And we're not. We're just people that got hooked on something. But we're people like everybody else. But this dude likes to play the blame game. And a lot of these 12-step programs kind of feed into that. They say they don't, but that whole we're powerless thing. Okay. They really need to revamp a lot of that stuff. And he may, I think it's that 4th step where you make amends. He may apologize. You may hear from him in about 2 months or so, and he may apologize for what he said. Okay? It may take a little longer. He's going to have to go through the steps all over again, and he may say sorry, he didn't mean it, and all this kind of stuff. So you may hear from him, or she may not want him to talk to you. Okay? But his sponsor might make him apologize too. Because he may have to do a lot of writing, because that's what they make you do. They make you write out all the stuff, and then they make you call people up or do whatever and apologize and say, I'm really sorry for what I said to you, because that's a part of staying clean. Because you have to admit everything that you've done, and or unless it hurts you and hurts other people. So unless it's going to bother the woman that he's with now, he's probably going to have to admit that he did a bad thing. So you might be hearing from him, and he's going to have to say, you know what, that was a bad thing on my part, and I'm really sorry. And then he's going to have to admit that he got into it with her, because every couple fights, and that he had a drink or went on a binge, or I don't know what his drug of choice was, but that he did something. Okay, that she looked at him funny, or I don't know what his triggers are. He thinks she was cheating on him because some guy looked at her, or I don't know what his deal is. But some addicts, It depends on what the drug of choice was, but a lot of these guys are paranoid and think if a guy looks at you that that's your ex and that you're cheating, okay? And a lot of addicts are like that. Trust me, I know. That's why I'm so glad I'm with Sensational, because he's like this totally straight edge guy. He's not jealous or crazy, and it's such a relief to be with a guy like that. He's not nuts. It's so nice to just be with somebody sane. Okay, he's not all like, he's not a bozo, you know. He doesn't like trip out or think things, or he's just not. It's so nice to be with somebody sane who hasn't done a bunch of freaking drugs and doesn't have a lot of crazy ideas about things. I mean, we can go out and he's not all like all like freaked out, and you know, his brain's not all warped and everything like that. It's so nice to be with somebody sane and normal. Thank you, Zen. Anyway, but it's like, but when you're with these guys that have, you know, had their minds altered, they say stupid things like that. So your ex is saying something to you that is not true, hun, and he knows it. So and I know it because I'm an ex-addict, so I've been around addicts and I know what they say. They say things like that, and they say it when they're high and they say it when they're sober. And they know when they're saying it that it's not the truth. So he doesn't have to be under the influence to tell a big lie like that. And he knows he's lying to you. He's just trying to make you feel bad. He is. See, and that's a thing that guys do, because what may have happened was you may have ended the relationship, or he may have ended the relationship, and he's trying to find justification to end the relationship. So he's trying to make it look like Miss New Lady is better than you. And that's another thing that a lot of these toxic people do, is they try to make it look like this new person is better than you, and they try to find a reason to make it look like they're better than you. And he's making it look like she's better than you because he doesn't fight with her. Just give it time. Pretty soon, she's going to get tired of his crap, because he's an addict who has not dealt with his stuff yet. And trust me, we addicts have a lot of stuff to deal with, because our minds have been changed by chemicals. And the reason we were on the drugs in the first place is because stuff was bothering us. Okay? We weren't on the drugs in the first place because we were happy people. People don't use drugs because they're happy. They don't go, my life is so great, let's go use this drug because everything was going so wonderful. No. They have nightmares, they have dysfunctional childhoods, they don't get along with other people, they have too much stress in their life, they're lonely. That's why they're doing the drugs, okay? And I'm not saying that all addicts are bozos, because I'm not one, but all bozos are addicts. So your ex kind of sounds like a bozo. And I know I'm on here talking about bozos every day, and I didn't mean to make this one about bozos, but he is. He just sounds like a schmuck, okay? So, and it's possible too. All narcissists are addicts. Not all addicts are narcissists, but all narcissists are addicts. So he's playing the old triangulation, she's better than you stuff. Okay, and all narcissists are some type of addict. And a lot of people are some type of addict, but all narcissists are. And the old she's better than you and I can stay sober with her deal, I'd really be surprised if that's true. I would really, truly be shocked. Because if an addict wants to stay sober, it's really up to the individual. See, I want to stay sober. That's why I'm sober. Because I want to be. I just don't want that life again. I have kicked the physical addiction part of it, and I want to stay sober. So that's the reason I stay sober. But it's really the grace of God too, honestly. It's not, I don't go to the meetings. I'm not interested in any of that. I don't believe in that big blue book. I don't believe in that whole sponsor. I don't believe in that emitting this, that, or the other. I don't believe in apologizing to people. They really should apologize to me. Really. And if they don't apologize to me, that's okay. I already know I'm good. I already know I'm getting my life on track, and just living my life. So I really don't have a whole lot of bad things I've done, to be honest. I'm really just somebody who the doctors got me hooked on these pills, and I haven't really done any. I really didn't do anything that was really bad. It just really held me back in life. So I could be considered an atypical addict anyway, that doesn't, belong in a program like that. So I don't know. They kind of felt I didn't belong in the program, but it could be because I was having critical thought in the program. They considered me a troublemaker. So troublemaker, heartbreaker. So, yeah. Your ex-boyfriend is, and he's also deifying the new girlfriend. And narcissists do that. They put their new, how can I say this? Their new supply. They've got a, how can I say this? Well, he has her on a pedestal, but they call their new love interest the supply. Okay, so he's really he's in love with the attention she's paying him. He's not really in love with her. He's got her on a pedestal, and it's just the fact that she's making his ego gratified. It's not really, people like him can't really love somebody. And I'm sorry, people who won't stop putting substances in their body don't love themselves. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real. You hate yourself if you keep putting something in your body that's not good for you. He may have been cheating on you with her while you two were together. And that's one of the lies he's telling her, is he had to cheat on you with her because she was the one that was good for him. So he's trying to make her think that he wouldn't cheat on her with someone else. He's going to. I'm just, spoiler alert. I do not miss him. Do not think she's better. He's just a sick man. Alright, so, and addicts are people with never-ending problems. So I don't want you to miss him or believe anything he says. And he's going to hit you up pretty soon with the whole making amends deal. Just be like, okay, thank you for saying that, and I don't think we should talk to each other anymore. Leave it at that. I forgive you. Leave it at that. And then pretty soon he's going to be cheating on her with someone else who he's going to deify, put on the pedestal, because that one's going to be his new ego source, and then she's going to probably come to you and say, he did the same thing to me. Or even not, don't even worry about it. Just be glad. Thank God that he's out of your life. Okay? So, this has been Juliana Angel, Otherworldlies, and I hope everybody is enjoying the full moon, and everybody is enjoying a nice sober time, because there might be a little bit of craziness going on right now. Alright? And for everybody who is clean and sober, congratulations. I'm proud of you. Feels great, doesn't it? Alright, everyone. I love you, and you have a very nice evening. Good night.